jump right in then. A new, exciting partnership between two protectors, really. I mean, two organizations, platforms that are geared at protecting digital assets, creators, particularly in UREEQA's case, but UREEQA and 0chain coming together. VP of Business Development, Rakan Owen, and the head of partnerships, Adrian Corcoran, with 0chain, joining me to discuss this partnership between these two companies, these two platforms, where they're going to come together. And guys, this seems very natural to me. It seems like it was destined from the start when UREEQA became a thing, essentially in the past year. These two organizations seem like they were a very, very logical fit. Is that kind of where you stand on things, Rakan?
It is a natural partnership because it's a natural evolution in terms of what UREEQA is trying to create. UREEQA was established to help protect, manage, and monetize creative work for all artists around the world. 0chain was established to securely host that creative work. And Brad, what happens if an organization, a hosting site goes down, gets compromised? NFT is still on the blockchain. It's still there, but the actual visual digital asset is going to be gone. UREEQA is implementing a security protocol, security layer and it's going to be augmenting it with 0chain's platform, just so that we're able to further enhance and fully protect creative artists' work and the consumer's work, giving a different layer, a much higher layer of security and peace of mind to those creators and those consumers.
Adrian, are you feeling the same thing? Obviously, 0chain's been around a little bit longer, and now you see UREEQA emerge on the realm. And did it seem like a very natural, relationship to begin from you guys' perspective as well?
Thanks, Brad. Yeah, I very much believe so. UREEQA is changing the dynamic of the NFT industry, in our opinion, by ensuring the NFT asset is protected at all times, and that's from retaining its value from the marketplace and throughout its entire life cycle. Similarly, 0chain is changing the dynamic with decentralized data cloud storage and providing enterprise grade. And I think there's a big difference here. We're quite used to IPFS storage protocol level. Enterprise grade is fast upload and download speeds. And this is with a virtual impenetrable security layer that we had mentioned earlier.
Can you guys elaborate on why you believe specifically this partnership can be fruitful for each organization? How do you each benefit from it, Rakan?
Yeah, first off, just understanding and knowing 0chain's executive group, we share the same visions and values in terms of our goal to provide a higher quality and level of service and solution to consumers all around the world. As I mentioned, UREEQA is built on, to protect, manage, and monetize creative solutions, focusing on three main areas of risk, which is authenticity, copyright protection, and redeemability. We're excellent in this area. This is where we stand out. This is our secret sauce in terms of the validation of what we do and providing the full robust package of proof. We can't do this by ourselves. This is our focus. This is our niche. Aligning ourselves with 0chain is a natural fit for ourselves. It's just it complements our solution and takes it to the next level. So this is just a great partnership for our two organizations to be able to provide this type of solution to our clients. It's full transparency in hosting, which is what we want to offer.
Any particular benefits you're excited about that you'll get from the UREEQA platform?
I think there's a lot here. In keeping with UREEQA's mantra to protect all creators' work, UREEQA has partnered with us really just to do that and continue on that journey. So 0chain is an additional security level and a new paradigm in decentralized data cloud storage. As mentioned, it's high speed, it's enterprise grade, it's a security layer where data security remains paramount, which is key to the NFT market. The NFT market has matured somewhat and started to steer away from the traditional URL route where it started off and is now engaged with the IPFS protocols, but they too have their issues. And hence the reason why I think that our partnership with UREEQA and the security aspect is incredibly focused. The biggest issues with the IPFS protocols that a lot of NFTs are experiencing at this point in time is the first thing is the transaction data is not glued to the NFT asset. You know, the NFTs include information on where you can find the artwork they represent, but the actual artwork is still a link away. Which brings me on to the second point, broken links. In essence, these links will direct or guide the buyer to where the NFT is being stored. But unfortunately, as we've noted and seen it all too apparent, these links can also be frequently broken, and therefore it renders the NFT to be valueless, which in anyone's books is an expensive 404 error. But onto the final point, the IPFS addresses let you find a piece of content as long as someone somewhere on that network is hosting it. But still, even with some third-party gateway willing to host such content, the more popular the content gets, the more expensive it gets to host for the gateway. And this often results in a tragedy of the commons situation. You know, others have tried to build reward protocols on top of IPFS to incentivize data persistence. But such patching via proxy incentive comes with no guarantee and therefore decouples the content owner from controlling the economics behind the persistence of their own data. With ZeroChain, we're allowing to couple the NFT lifecycle into the underlying asset lifecycle. So with our architecture and our technology, which is proxy re-encryption, the NFT's underlying asset is safeguarded from the point of sale through to completion and asset transfer. And that's in tandem with the actual NFT sale itself. But moreover, artists can now work with a storage allocation per NFT instead of a single file per NFT. So if you can think of an allocation as a container of assets that is transferred upon the NFT ownership transfer, and such data within an allocation is sharded amongst multiple storage providers for redundancy and durability. The thing with us is that we don't make assumptions about data permanency, which is a thing that is a very key point of our integration here. So if we take the multi-buyer pool for NFT storage permanency, it allows the buyer to purchase the NFT, and the owner will be able to understand that it is prepaid for a period of time, so that their NFT is stored safely within that allocation. But once that allocation or once that NFT is purchased, the buyer can then continue and prepay their own storage allocation for that NFT. So this point alone completely alleviates any potential broken links and or any IPFS node offloading old data and puts the buyer firmly in control of their asset. The multi-payer aspect of the protocol accommodates the flexibility for those granted access to an allocation. And that could be either an individuals or entities to prepay storage allocation for their respective NFT. Finally, NFTs have typically been associated with static images thus far, but with 0chain and UREEQA and this approach, artists can now actually think about video streaming, multi-format assets per NFT, and basically we need no longer be limited to any static NFT assets, which is a real step forwards.
Yeah, and this goes back to the transparency of hosting, providing our clients, our consumers, the opportunity to choose how they want to have their information, how their NFTs stored, how long they'd like to have it stored for. So again, we're just being open to our clients to provide them all those different opportunities.
And this is quite unique in the NFT arena as well, which is
going
back to your first point about how much aligned, and this seems a very natural partnership. It's a phenomenal entity to be working with, with UREEQA. The protectionism of the creative work and the protectionism of the data itself, i.e. the NFT, with our own storage protocol goes hand in hand.
Yeah, Adrian, we're blown away. Like, honestly, we're sitting back and we can't be happier just for the fact we're able to partner with an organization such as ZeroChain that is providing a complementary service to our solution. I guess, any organization can, if they've invested enough time and money and resources, can build the biggest thing, but why do that? We're focused and we're specialized in this area. Your focus is specialized in that area. And this is just, collectively together, we're going to be ruling the market. It's going to be awesome.
The great thing about what you're doing, Rakan, with our partnership as well, is that it's pioneering how you store your NFT, and it has been long an issue. We've long since seen individuals or entities lose their links, which are assets that are $1 million above, and having a 404 error when you've made that type of investment is incredibly hard to swallow. But this is a pioneering, this is a pioneering partnership that we have here, and you backing it with the rest of your service is very unique to NFT, and I think, as you say, it will really hit the market well.
Yeah, absolutely, and really, there's it's increased confidence that there's less centralized risk for an NFT hosting site to go down. Like, think about it as well, Brad. You've heard in the past of these large organizations, these global businesses, whether it's a Home Depot or whether it's a Walmart or other organizations, have had their servers hacked into, right? Or whether ransomware was put in. People's information, their private information. Organizations that offer cloud storage. How many times have you seen pictures go online of people's from people's phones? Or personal information. So the whole thing about having a decentralized storage platform like 0chain is going to mitigate this whole issue. Like, this is fantastic, and this is going to change the world. One of the things that really attracted me to UREEQA coming on board was the fact that, we're offering NFTs, we're offering the ability for people to monetize their work and protect, but we're really changing the world here. Like, we're still scratching the surface here. This is still in infancy. And I can't wait to see what happens next. Like, every day is a new day. It's just awesome. And then now joining with 0chain, this is it's just taking us to another level.
I love you guys riffing like that. I could have just seen myself out, and you were going, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want here. I'll lob a couple more up, though. A couple points that I picked up along the way there that are sort of in my notes as well. I guess I'll start with, Rakan, you mentioned that we can't do everything, and a big thing that Harsh believed from the start is hire the best people you can hire partner with the best people you can partner with. This is very much in lockstep. I have to assume that 0chain has a similar approach. I mean, I think that obviously it's a very focused organization platform as well. So from both of your standpoints, obviously this is kind of lockstep with that mentality, which is essentially outsourcing to people that are a lot better at these specific things that you're trying to focus on in terms of solidifying your organization as a whole.
Sorry, Rakan, you go.
Oh yeah, it's you're absolutely right. It's we can't be everything for everyone, and if we sit back and try and do it all ourselves, we're going to blow our brains out. So what's the point? You're going to be able to gain a lot more traction, a lot more ground if you team up together, if you have the same vision, the same values, to have the same goal in mind. And 0chain's executive, they're electrical engineers, they're PhDs. We have engineers, we have PhDs. We have entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur as well. 0chain has entrepreneurs. Harsh is an entrepreneur. There's just so much that brings us all together. And this is a perfect fit. We're dovetailing into each other here, providing a robust solution to our clients and consumers. Because in the end, again, this is a great craze right now. The NFT craze is it's exploding. But what's NFT 2.0? What's NFT 3.0? What's going to happen down the road? And so again, just partnering up with Adrian and his crew and with UREEQA, this is just phenomenal. Again, I'm so excited about the opportunity. And I'm almost out of words.
I think that what you're saying there with regards to NFT 2.0 and NFT 3.0, there are going to be a number of different verticals that this is going to throw up. And I think that, you have to start with a very solid foundation. And UREEQA, right from the very outset, is all about protecting creators' art. But the benefit with us working together is that, you know, we don't specialize in NFT. We're a storage layer protocol, but the NFT is very relevant at this point because it has had so many issues from a storage capacity point of view. And as all as all NFT providers at this point in time are on an IPFS storage layer, which are designed for archival storage, you know, the process of which to recall all of this now and download the data can be extremely time consuming. So, you know, I think there was a search done by, there's a website called Check My NFT, and they found that the likes of some of the major artists out there, such as Grimes or Steve Aoki, you know, these IPFS links do not work, or the files simply do not load at all. So with UREEQA and our partnership, we now have a solid decentralized data storage layer with an all-encompassing NFT service from a marketplace through the validation and ownership to the management and the monetizing element too. And that's got to be great for the NFT market and the respective creators and artists there.
And
yeah, it's getting that message out as well, because again, as you mentioned, NFTs are relatively new. You know, I think 95% of the world doesn't own any sort, doesn't have a wallet or doesn't own crypto. And this is all coming out. Even though when I'm talking to my friends and my colleagues about what I'm doing right now, they're like, what is it? What are you doing? I don't get it. Yeah. You know, so it's all about an education piece, and it's going to continue to go. Like, again, this is still in its infancy, and it's all about, you know, 0chain and UREEQA educating the market, letting them understand that an NFT is not necessarily an NFT, right? You need to be able to protect it properly. Even though it's on the blockchain, even though it's securely there, there's a lot more behind it as well that people aren't aware of. So this is where the partnership between 0chain and UREEQA comes into play.
And broadly speaking, Rakan, I think at UREEQA, we often get lost in the focus on creators. That is the key. But of course, buyers are a big factor, and partners and investors and everything else. And I think it's probably important to establish that this, you know, integrating the D-Storage layer here will benefit buyers. It gives peace of mind and protection to the people that are just consumers, that aren't creators, don't have any of their own assets on our marketplace. This is something that will be beneficial to folks that are not just the creators that are part of UREEQA's platform. Correct? Yeah,
as what Adrian mentioned, you know, this is the opportunity to have the consumers' assets that they spent money on to be protected. And it's, again, the transparency that they have a choice in terms of how they like to have their assets protected and for how long they like to have it protected for. Again, the decentralized platform is totally different from what we're currently seeing right now. Again, as I mentioned, what happens if a site goes down, right? You're not going to be able to see that NFT. Let's say you spend $10,000, $15,000, $1 million, right, on your NFT. What happens if it goes away? Right, it's a digital asset. Like, this is really, really important, that the fact that we need to have this layer right now to protect the consumers. Yes, the creators obviously, but the consumers as well.
Is there something? Sorry, Adrian, go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
No, I'd love to hear what you thought.
Oh my gosh, like the Canadians in the English, right? We're apologizing to each other. sorry.
No, I was just about to say that I think that all aspects of our integration is pretty exciting. But the thing for me is that UREEQA is actually pioneering with a new storage solution, which, as you say, protects the consumer. And with UREEQA setting the tone and leading from the front, I think it's an extremely exciting time. And there are infinite possibilities that can lead on from here, because UREEQA's NFT marketplace is underpinned by the very security layer that it has. And therefore, with a new paradigm of how to buy and sell NFTs with its underlying data storage security layer, it's something extremely new and gives buyers a lot of comfort. So I think for me, you know, all told, you know, UREEQA is protecting the creative works of creators and artists, and it's allowing them and no other to monetize their assets. So it's really an A to Z protectionism of these works.
I like that you went through, Adrian, sort of all the elements, you know, whether it be the multi-payer pool, SLA layer, the assets, I'm the most excited about the idea of a mutable NFT. I think that's the one that probably, kind of appeals to maybe a broadest audience. But for Ken, from your standpoint, is there something that really stands out that you're particularly excited about, or is it just the array of it all? Or?
Yeah, that's a great question. If this was actually a multiple choice question, I would choose E, all of the above. Like, it's amazing how zero chain is encompassing all these different areas and layers of protection, and that you mentioned the mutable NFT, potentially for pay-per-view sites, dynamic NFTs, which are happening, which we're going to be able to. Someone purchases an NFT, we're going to be able to fire up a new NFT, like as well as a little announcement for them. Say, hey, you purchased this one here. Look what's happening, what's coming down the pipe here for yourselves. You have the opportunity to come in firsthand before anyone else to check out this new drop that's happening. Whether it is a pay-per-view site, like through perhaps a sporting event, or a concert, or whatever the case is, everything that zero chain is offering, just again, as mentioned, I used the word dovetail before, dovetails right into what we're offering as well.
Adrian, do you have a favorite, or is that like picking your favorite kid? You're not allowed to have a favorite.
Look, I think it's fair to say I'm excited about all of the aspects, because they all work extremely well together. But you touched upon the mutable NFT,
yeah,
and we've already had an initial conversation with Harsh with regards to a number of different live streaming events that are happening in the States. And I think that the great thing about it is that with the amount of creators and artists that you're currently working with, I think this market is only set to increase tenfold. It's the beginning of our relationship here, and we see this as the start of a very long-term working relationship. But there are going to be a number of different verticals, which we touched upon earlier, and where the partnership with UREEQA and ourselves is going to make a big difference. So as an example, there's a potential for artists to utilize a storage layer to showcase their songs or albums, where their fan base or their community may directly purchase from source. I spoke with an artist about 3 months ago. He had somewhere in the region of about 350,000 downloads on Spotify, and his royalty for the month was in the region of about $300. So, if we're able to provide the artist with a control layer to their work so that they can generate the lion's share of their royalties through a direct consumer, i.e. their fan base transaction, there can be an untold number of opportunities here for us. And from those live streaming events, which is great, for pay-per-view revenues, they can create their own NFT videos from this, short videos, because we're no longer limited to static images. So these static images, these video NFTs that we're talking about could also be said works which can then be uploaded onto UREEQA's marketplace and sold via that channel as well. So there's a number of different verticals that we're talking, that an endless opportunities. We, as I mentioned, we're in discussion with a number of entities in the US regarding a number of different live stream events. We've spoken with Harsh and mentioned this already, but we anticipate that this market's going to surge. So there's an infinite possibility here. And happily, we're currently just at the beginning of the journey.
Yeah, and just on that, you basically pulled back the curtain a little bit. This is a big area for us. We've stacked our team with some people that have tremendous depth and breadth in the music industry. We are focusing a lot of our attention in this area. Just you're talking about the royalty section. It's amazing how many artists are not receiving the amount that's due to them. Right? We were on a call with some people out of Brazil, and this individual he's a musician, performer. He's saying, yeah, 50% of my revenue is gone. And one of our guys, Scott, who is heavy into he's a music manager, and he's a phenomenal individual. And he says, oh, hang on a second, hang on. You're not seeing 80% of your revenue. You're seeing 50% of the 20%. So in essence, you're really only getting 10%. So this is just like Adrian, you scratch that surface right there. It's unbelievable what we're going to be able to do, and this is totally disruptive. This is groundbreaking, and people's eyes are gonna pop open, larger than mine have been during this interview.
I'll let you guys out on this one. You said it's going to change the world. I'm quoting you, Rakan.
Yeah.
Can this become an example for future NFT storage? Is this going to become the shining example? Ideally, is this going to be the trend that will be set right now in terms of, again, to go back to the original point, the natural relationship here? Is this going to be a relationship that might be required for future followers, so to speak?
Well, it's going to be required for us. And I really fully believe that if the consumers and the creators in the world out there that want to have a robust solution, want to have their works protected, they want to have the ability to be able to have a robust package of proof showing that the authenticity is there, the copyright protection is there, and then the redeemability factor is there as well when they're offering additional utility to their clients, protected by zero chain. There's only one place to go, and that's to UREEQA and zero chain.
Yeah, I concur with that. I mean, as a consumer, why would you risk anywhere else? Because it's not necessary. And I think that this is where the pioneering data storage is going to shift. NFTs are becoming, they're digital assets. They have a value. So, being able to protect them right from the very outset is only common sense to do so. Why would you risk it anywhere else? There's no reason to.
Brad, just from a personal perspective, I came from a Big Four accounting firm, doing business development for them. I was there 14 years, working both in Canada and the United States. I've known Harsh for 14 years as well. And Harsh has just been a visionary and entrepreneur. And he spoke to me for 30 minutes and said, talk to me about UREEQA. And this was a few months ago, talking about UREEQA, what we're planning on doing. And this is before we knew about zero chain. And within 30 minutes, I decided to leave my firm and jump on board. This is how strongly I feel how we're going to create and recreate the world, recreate this environment here. We're disrupting this disruptive environment. So this is there's more to come. And I can't believe that we're at this point right here. And we're extremely lucky to be able to partner up with zero chain.
I like that, disrupting the disruptors. Is there
yeah, you can quote that.
Yeah. Is there anything any message you want to get out that I didn't touch on, or we didn't touch on? Did you get everything out there from both your standpoints, or?
Yeah, for me, it's just another day in the world of UREEQA. I can't wait for tomorrow. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's exciting times, and I think that the partnership and what we have in mind and the plans that we've got in place and some of the integration levels and the verticals that can come from this, needless to say, it's extremely comfortable partnership. We're very excited to be working with UREEQA, and we are eagerly looking forward to moving forwards with some of the plans that we've discussed today, really.